My Own Garms.
What is happening, everybody? I'm Thomas Griffin. This is My Own Garms. On this week's ep, I'm chatting to stylist and model Eve Kelly. Eve is a Manchester-based creative who is smashing it at the moment, working with the likes of Belstaff, 7-Layer, Hikadelic, Clints and Proper Magazine. Her Instagram handle at steezy_Steve really undersells a specifically creative take on casual and technical wear as she plays with heritage brands and traditional gender roles within these cultures. I am buzzing to chat to her today about her career so far and what she thinks about the future of technical clothing. If you love this episode, then let us know on the socials. We are at My Own Garms everywhere. We're posting BTS, clips, bonus footage, all that type of stuff. Give something a share, please. Nice one. Right, let's do this thing. This is My Own Garms with steezy Eve Kelly. Eve, welcome to My Own Garms. Are you alright? Have you had a good day today?
Yeah, I have. Thank you.
What have you been up to?
Literally nothing.
I thought you meant to be at work.
We've swapped days around.
Okay.
I think it's because Mark at Proper likes you, so he was like, yeah, go for
Oh, nice one, Mark. Cheers. So you've been filling your day with creative planning, did you say? Is the YouTube on the DL at the moment?
Yeah, I haven't actually told anyone I'm starting YouTube yet. Well, to be fair, actually, we filmed some bits for YouTube. We on the way here, we got some like photos and stuff, if that counts. But
yeah, buzzing to see it. Well, we'll join YouTube together. I'm sure you'll get more views than what we get, but
never know.
We'll see how it goes. All right, let's start off with the word steez. There's a Gangstar song called "You Know My Steez." Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking banger. Anyway, so that's where I first came across the word steez, and it's obviously a very hip hop thing. And then when I was skating a lot, steez is the kind of thing that you can't put your finger on. Like, someone can do a trick and it might be a difficult trick and it might look shit, but if you do it with steez, that's the most important thing. Yeah, is that what you were trying to channel with that word, steez?
I mean, I don't think I was thinking about it that deep, like, oh, like, I think I'm so steezy.
Yeah.
It were more my mates, like, if I ever came down in an outfit, they'd be like, oh, Steve, you're looking steezy. And we just, like, just grew from there, really.
So it's obviously, like, short for, or slang for style, isn't it?
Yeah.
And styling's your main thing that you do. So what is style to you?
More just like being able to dress well. Like, I think obviously there's like the steezy side of it, like cool looking items and like colourful things. But I think just being able to like dress well, like knowing what fits you and what like suits you. I think that's like more style to me.
So tell us about the job of styling, because it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, I think. Like, I'm a producer, and producing mean like Dr. Dre is very different to Steve Albini, but they're both producers. Like, styling to me sounds like it could be different on every single job that you're on. So what is the kind of styling that you do?
Well, I'm just like learning at the minute, but like it feels almost like I'm being like thrown into the deep end because I'll have to like style actual jobs.
Well, some of the names that I read out in the intro, like, they're big names, you know, that's a kind of made it level of styling.
Yeah, I think it's because like at uni before I left, I wasn't actually doing styling there. It was more directing.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I left, I was like, I want to style, and working with Proper Mag like gave me that opportunity. So.
Oh, they work with some amazing people, don't they? Like the clientele that they get through the agency side of stuff it's just a who's who, basically. And
they're just like so easy to work with as well, and like it's like you can work in a lot of environments and it almost feels like you're working in like a hierarchy, but like everyone at Proper Mag's just really like even and just wants to work together.
Yeah. So for those people that haven't read Proper Mag, could you tell us a little bit more about what it is?
Yeah, it's just mainly just like about culture, and it's very like they focus a lot on like outdoor and things like that. But I mean, recently they've been working with a lot of different people. Like we're doing something with Puma coming up actually, and that's like based on the New York shoe and like the b-boy scene. So that's gonna be like more of like a hip hop shoot, which I haven't seen like Proper Mag do yet.
I can't wait to see what you do with the styling on that.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for that. I want to get some Clints in it actually.
Tell us a bit about Clints, because that's a Manchester-based brand, isn't it? I don't know too much about them.
I mean, I haven't actually like worked with them, but they've been kind enough to like give me some bits.
Okay.
And I've like promoted it for them because I just love what they do. I think they're like so creative. Like out of all the like brands I'm seeing in Manchester, like they're definitely doing something different. And everyone, like, if they're doing a drop, like, everyone's waiting for it.
Yeah. So they work mainly in the kind of like not casual wear, like sports casual, I guess. I've seen a lot of sweatsuits and stuff like that. What other pieces are they creating?
Well, they're doing a lot of shoes at the minute, and they're just mad. Like, I remember when I first saw them, and I just thought, I cannot relate them to a single shoe anywhere. Yeah. Like, just the silhouette of it and everything is crazy, and then they do all the different colourways. They came out with like a Timberland style boot as well. But I'm noticing like a lot of their stuff are looking like quite New York style as well.
So like, super hip hop influence.
Yeah, so I'm seeing that a lot more around Manny now, and I love it. So like,
nice.
Yeah.
We know that you're a stylist professionally, or you're getting started as a stylist professionally. Something that I've noticed in your online presence is proliferation of scarves. Like big ones, small ones, colourful ones, blocky ones. Like, why do you, as a stylist, love scarves so much?
It's the same with a lot of I feel like I go through phases with accessories where, like, I'll put an outfit together with a scarf once, and then every time I do an outfit, I'm like, oh no, this doesn't look right without.
It's missing something.
Yeah, literally.
All right.
And it's just the layering part of it. It's just an extra thing to add, and I love that.
Yeah. So my take on scarves and why, like, I think they're amazing for stylists. Like, I couldn't get this shirt and put it on backwards. Well, I could, but it looked fucking stupid. But with scarves, like, there is so many things you can do with it. You can wear it as a hood. You can wear it, like, wrap it different ways. You can wear it just round waist. And, you know, it's like the shape of it just lends itself to creativity, I think.
Yeah.
And I've seen you wrapping them in different ways. You've got the hooded version and stuff like that. Is that something that do you find it like a blank piece of paper to work with almost?
Yeah, fully. It's just, I like that you can have like a really plain outfit, but then a really like patterned, colourful scarf and stuff like that. It's just a way to add colour as well.
It's not really scarf season today, is it? It's nice outside in Manchester.
Rep your ends.
So you are from West Yorkshire, right?
I am.
Tell me specifically.
Bradford.
Are you from Bradford?
I am, yeah.
So I'm Lancastrian. I'm from Chorley over here, but I live over between Otley and Harrogate, so not far from Bradford at all. So tell me a little bit about Bradford, where you're from, what kind of clothes you saw growing up there, and what effect they had on how you dress and how you dressed growing up.
I mean, there's literally nothing really going on in Bradford, to be honest. I think...
You meant to rep your ends at this. You meant to big up Bradford.
But, I mean, like, outside of West Yorkshire, I love West Yorkshire.
All right.
I love the people from West Yorkshire. Like, you can spot them anywhere, the loveliest people. But, like, as for Bradford as a city, it's like you haven't really got an option but to move out of it if you want to do something creative.
Okay.
As for, like, the dress sense there, in school, it was very like all black TNs, skinny jeans, shell tracksuits, that kind of vibe. And then, you know, I think I moved more to like Leeds side as I went to college, and that's when I started being able to like express my style a lot more. And I've always been really into like the indie music and the rock music because my parents. So
are they like snappy dresses, your mum and dad?
Probably more so back in the day for sure.
Right.
But they're just like mad creative people. And,
okay. Music-wise, are we talking?
Both, like everything. They're definitely like my creative inspiration, really.
Oh, wow. So you feel like you've inherited some of your clothing choices from them, maybe? Yeah,
definitely my mum. I wear some of my mum's old clothes all the time.
Which ones specifically?
She gave me a really nice denim short sleeve top that has like cool pockets on it and stuff, and I wear that all the time.
And tell us a little, I mean, we mentioned it in the little extra podcast, but I know you've got some hand-me-downs from your dad as well, jacket-wise, leathers, denims.
Yeah, I've got a leather jacket, which was originally from Marks and Spencer's, actually.
Okay. Fits just nice, aged perfectly.
Yeah, I had to actually put a shoestring through the bottom, like ruche it through to make it a bit more cropped, but apart from that, perfect.
Total fashion school kid, isn't it? So yeah, Bradford particularly, like, I know you said it's not got a style, but like, the older people that are there, like, I know you said you were at school, what would the archetypal person be wearing for, I don't know, a trip to the pub?
Maybe not Bradford, but more the other side. It was very like Hooligans. I think that's definitely what got me into fashion was the Hooligans style, because I remember we all used to go to this pub when we were like 16, 17, and
What was it called, your local?
it was called the Woodman in Dewsbury. It was-
Sounds wrong.
yeah, really not amazing, but it's the only place we could go.
Yeah. And that's where you first happened across Stoney and
Yeah,
CP
fully.
stuff.
All the girls, it was very fast fashion, Pretty Little Thing, that kind of vibe. And at first, that's what I'd wear as well. Every time we went to the pub, it was like every lad on a Friday, they'd have the badge on.
Yeah.
Like every Friday.
Real or jag stuff, do you reckon? What percentage are we talking?
Actually,
legit?
real, like they were very
It's fucking
on it.
nuts what people will spend on.
That's what I mean. They were probably at their apprenticeships earning like 400
Yeah,
a month, and
one
they'd
jacket
spend
month.
that on a new Stoney.
Mad. But kind of beautiful at the same time. Like, I love that people care that much about it.
Yeah, same. That's really what got me into it.
And seeing those has obviously rubbed off on your style. Like, a couple of years later, you were wearing those brands. Maybe not as much now, as we discussed, but like, that was your foray, your kind of gateway into interesting clothes.
Well, that's what kicked it off, because it was like I'd see them every Friday and I'd be like excited to see like, oh, I wonder what they're going to be wearing next week.
Okay, so
Like
while everyone
how
else was
easy
drinking
to
and
get.
having a good time, you're like doing fashion research at the pub.
Yeah, literally. And then it wasn't long after that, it was probably like a year after that, I just went, oh, well, I'm going to wear it as well. And that's where TikTok started off, because I think I posted an outfit like two years ago in a Stoney, and everyone was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like so confused.
Obviously, it is heavily skewed to the kind of masculine male man end of the spectrum. Did you feel like you were doing something new then?
Yeah, but people weren't really viewing it like that at first. I remember being in a Weatherspoons in Cleckheaton and like queuing up to go to the toilet, and this lass must have been with a boyfriend behind me, and she was like, isn't that a man's jacket? Like, oh, I didn't know she's a lesbian. I was like, oh my god.
It's a piece of clothing.
Yeah, literally.
Mad. I was going to ask, obviously, like the support on TikTok is pretty well supportive, but in real life, was it a different experience to it? Was there a resistance? Like your mates that you were previously dressing similar to in more feminine styles, did they accept your new kind of clothing experiments, or were they a bit like, I don't know what that's all about?
Back home, like, definitely my mate Tony she's always just like been like, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
I think everyone was just kind of like, you do you, but like didn't really think much of it.
That's nice.
Obviously, when I came at Manchester, everyone like loves it and is a part of it and inspired me even more.
I want to move on to Manchester now. So, like, how long have you been here now?
Probably 2 years now.
2 years. And did you move over for university? Was it a college course?
I moved for uni. I did fashion art direction at Manchester Met, but I dropped out after a year.
Okay, we'll come on to the education side of it a little bit more later on. But what similarities and differences? Because obviously Bradford and Manchester, they're not geographically that far apart, maybe like 30 miles as the crow flies. Like, what was the biggest difference you saw when you came to Manchester from Bradford or from West Yorks?
Just creativity everywhere.
Okay.
And like just seeing people expressing themselves with how they dress and the artwork all over the city, and just like being able to go into like bars and even cafes and everyone's sociable, and just like it was just such a difference.
God, you're making Bradford sound grimy. You know? I'm sure it's got boss places. Like, I'm in Leeds all the time, and I think West Yorks is sick. I feel the same way in Leeds, like a cosmopolitan, welcoming city. But yeah, that's your experience of it in Manchester, and it is a buzzing city. Like, it was always my home city that I came to when I was little, and I felt the same. You know, creativity and stuff like that. It's pretty inspiring to be around. And do you feel like that kind of creativity has really fed you and what you do?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it pushes me as well, because it's like you see what other people are doing all the time, and it just makes you want to do more and inspires you. Yeah.
Nice. So my next question was, you're studying at uni over here, which isn't right anymore, so you dropped out of that.
Yeah.
The course was clothes related. Did you say fashion and art?
Fashion art direction, so like
Fashion.
creative direction, really.
Okay. Did you, in the year that you were there, did you get a lot out of the course, or did you just feel that it was holding you back from doing what you really wanted to do yourself?
Definitely holding me back a bit. But it taught me like the basics of creative direction for sure.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like I needed to do that for 3 years to go off and actually do it.
Is that because you were kind of doing the job that you would have got after 3 years already?
Yeah. And it's more, I feel like that course as well, it was very like high fashion based, and everything had to have these like major deep meanings, and it was just like, obviously if I want to go down the more like streetwear route and stuff like that, if I wanted to do a shoot based on that, they wouldn't really like it. They didn't think it was enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
it sounds a little bit stuck in the past, that, because like obviously you see the high fashion brands now keying into streetwear more and more and using like streetwear signs and signifiers in their runway shows. Like, it seems silly to deny someone like you, who's obviously got a passion for that, like, you know, validation on a course like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, well, it's like Salford, their like creative direction course, they did a collaboration with like Clints, and I was like, well, I would have loved to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's difficult with unis, isn't it? Like, I think when you know it's not for you, you know, and it's good to get out. Otherwise, it's expensive and a waste of 3 years. So big up for making that decision. And you don't look back on it now and think, oh, I wish I'd just gone through with it.
No, I don't wish I'd gone through with it. I'm glad I went. Well, first of all, I wouldn't be able to just move here if I didn't have that loan and in first year and stuff. And obviously it's good to network with people in uni as well. Like, I've met some great friends through uni and stuff like that. So I don't regret going.
I think that element of it, the networking side, is kind of, you can't really put a price on that, and especially moving to a new place where you don't necessarily know anyone, it's super important to have a creative crowd around you. I was talking to one of the guests we interviewed this morning about what the best dressed course is. I did music at uni, and the musicians look like shit, like all of them, me included. Like, but when you looked at the art school kids and the fashion like courses, that's where it was popping off. So what's your experience of that? I guess students are all a bit better dressed now than they were 20 years ago when I was at university. Who do you reckon's the best dressed course?
Probably, well, fashion for sure. It's very, very like extreme, like so many fluffy, sparkly things, and like always sunglasses on, but it is fashion and it is cool to see walking about and stuff. I think graphic students dress quite cool. I know quite a lot of graphic students who can really dress.
They've obviously got a keen aesthetic eye, haven't they, for making those choices. Yeah, maybe a little bit more conservative. Like, I think if you can't express yourself to an extreme degree when you're doing a fashion course, when are you going to be able to do it? Like, so you might as well.
I mean, I did that in first year. I just went full out all the time.
What were you wearing then?
Just like mad colourful tiens and huge sunglasses. And, yeah.
Sick. Was it fun? Sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit annoying because there were days where you just wanted to go to your lecture in a tracksuit, but you just feel so underdressed compared to everyone.
So there's an element of competition about it. Like, you couldn't just roll out of bed and go in, you had to be looking on point.
I think in first year, like by the end of the year, everyone just started doing what they wanted. I think it was like when you first started, everyone wanted to be like, oh, this is how I dress. And
I guess competition sometimes breeds creativity and can push you to spending all your student loan on a Stone Island jumper on the first day.
I'm guilty.
I thought that might be the case.
That's not me.
I read that when you were a kid, you struggled to conform to the kind of prescribed definition of femininity and girliness. Has there been a time in your life that you look back on and the clothes you were wearing and you think, that's just not me? Are there any garms that you've worn that you'd rather confine to the history books? Yeah,
well, that was when in that interview, that's when I was talking about being in the pub and like seeing the guys in the Stonies and wanting to wear that. It was very like black leather skinny jeans and like a cropped denim jacket, Air Force.
Yeah. I
mean, I didn't do that for a very long period of time because I think I probably did it for a few months and was just like, yeah, absolutely not, no.
It just didn't feel right for you. It didn't feel like essentially Eve.
I think as well it was like very like tight clothing as well.
Okay.
And it's like I much prefer to just like dress to my figure and like have that element taken into consideration when I style.
So a lot of the clothes that you wear are or maybe I'm talking more about the Stone Island kind of CP era, a lot of them are cut for male bodies. Is that something that you enjoy playing around with as a woman, like wearing stuff that's cut for a man and having the oversized element to it, or would you prefer more of those brands to specifically make clothes for your body?
I'd say probably like last year I'd be like baggy only, do you know what I mean? But at the minute I've been playing around with more like looking at more like the female clothing and stuff like that. Like most of my clothes at the moment are from like the women's section, like Hip Store and stuff like that. And I do notice like when I wear it, I'm like, oh, this actually does look really nice and like it is fun to play around with and stuff. But I will always wear baggy clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely my favourite.
Okay. So I think this is an interesting change that we've seen over the past few years with Hip Store. Like, have you ever been to Owl Store in Harrogate?
No.
It's ace. Check it out. I get a lot of my gear from there. But they've historically sold menswear as of Hip Store, but they've started to realise that there's an audience of women who do want to wear that, and they're stocking the women's stuff more. So what kind of stuff are you buying from there at the moment then? What's your current jam?
I love like a lot of the like pattern stuff they're doing. That's what I like because it's like the I wear the pattern t-shirts all the time, like the women's ones, and they're actually like long, but they're tight cut and they're like very shaped.
Okay.
And obviously, if I wanted to wear a top like that, it'd have to be like unbranded because you wouldn't see any of these like street style brands making them.
Okay.
So it's like cool to have that top, but with the Patta logo on it. Like I think that's sick.
And does that makes you feel a bit more included in the scene rather than like having to fight your way through it if something's made specifically for you?
Definitely.
Can you tell me a bit more about your views on fashion gender norms? Like, what's your experience as a young woman working in the industry? Like, as a stylist, is that like you going on to traditionally male shoots for, I mean, Belstaff's a very masculine traditional brand. Has there been any resistance to you as a woman in that, or?
No, I actually feel like I get more work because I'm a woman doing it.
Okay.
Because if you think about all the people in the streetwear scene that wear Stone Island and all these core brands that could get work, like only like a few of them who have followers will. Other than as soon as they saw a girl doing it, and I think I'm like one of probably a few on TikTok who were the first to be doing that, it's like they want to grab you straight away.
So take me through your kind of process as a stylist, because I know obviously you're picking out accessories and sizes and different colours that'll work together and stuff like that, but I think I've seen you doing a bit of like interiors and kind of set styling as well. Is that right?
I dabbled in it with Psychedelic recently, but
yeah, I think that's what I was referring to.
Yeah, when I look back at it, I don't actually know if I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've basically just like copied what's been done before because it was a very last minute shoot as well.
Okay, the one with the mugs.
Yeah.
I fucking love them mugs. They're so nice.
Yeah, no. Surprisingly, when we gift people as well, like we're expecting them to just like want a load of clothes, and half of them are like, I want the mugs.
The blue and the green mugs. Yeah. I want to drink my coffee out of them. I've been eyeing them up for a while. I'll have to pull the trigger soon. So we touched on footy a bit. I know that kind of like pub, football side of things is a big inspiration for you. Can you tell us about your favourite brands from that culture? Obviously there's the big ones, but is there any kind of sleeper brands from the casual culture that you find particularly inspiring? I absolutely, the scarf that I always wear, you know, the blue one. Is that a club or is it a brand or? It's got oh my God, so it's kind of city colours, that one? No, it's not supposed to be like city, but it's, I've forgotten the name of the footballer on it, big like coke head, begins with an M. Maradona? Yeah, that's it. All right. Maradona, yeah. Great footballer, also a cokehead. Yeah, I saw that and I got it. As soon as my dad saw it, it was like, let me tell you about the story of it. What was the story? Just him playing smashed off his head? Well, no, he got involved with like the mafia. Yeah. And would do like coke with him all the time. And then he, there was this thing where like he once like handballed and everyone was like, that's not allowed, but he just said, oh, it must have been God, and they just allowed it. Okay, so your dad's take on it was like, that I can't have him in our house kind of thing. No, he found it funny. Yeah. Is that like a casual brand that's made that scarf? Well, the thing is, I'd never heard of them, and it was actually like I think they sold some to like
Hycadelic or Yard store.
Yeah.
And like, I was just like, this is so sick. And I went on the page. It hadn't got many followers. I was like, I don't understand why this scarf hasn't gone crazy. And then ever since I've been wearing it, like the amount of questions and people messaging me is like, where's this scarf from? But I think everything they do, it's like obviously the name Acid FC. It's like, it's almost like what Hycadelic do. It's like psychedelic merged with football, which I've never seen.
Super, super cool. So tell me a little bit more about the influencing side of things, because this is a world that I'm not particularly au fait with. Is that something that you have been doing a while? Do you enjoy it? Is that your main source of income at the moment? What's your relationship with kind of TikTok influencing, Insta?
So I obviously do the 2 days a week with Proper Man, and then I'm freelance the rest. So whether that's modelling, freelance styling, direction, or social media work. But I feel like at the moment, and I'm at a bit of a like standstill with my socials. Like I'm constantly uploading on Instagram, but I've just dropped off of TikTok because it's a bit of a scary app, really. We've never had anything like that before.
Okay.
I've seen the way it's turned like certain fashion cultures into micro trends and stuff, and I don't really like that.
Right.
Like the whole TN shoe, like it's like come from its whole own like subculture, and it's just been turned into this like
picked up, churned out, spat out.
Yeah.
That's it. Like no respect for the heritage.
Yeah, literally. And I just don't like that. And it's like, I realised that like, I was like feeding that to a lot of people. So I kind of pulled back. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because I want to influence timeless fashion, because I want everyone to dress like that and shop vintage, and like it's the right thing to do. But I don't want
in terms of like ecological things.
Yeah. But like I don't want to influence it in the wrong way and it become like a micro trend. Like that's the last thing I want.
So you feel like there's other outlets out there, maybe YouTube, something a bit more long form where you can explain reason and history, culture. That might be something that you're looking towards more than those.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and then I guess you can influence people in a more positive way if that's what you feel like you're doing.
Top 3 selected.
So Eve, the names we've talked about, CP, 10C, Stone Island, they love to push boundaries in terms of fabrics and technical design. I've done for like the last 30, 40 years. Can you give me your top 3 most innovative brands in clothing right now? Who's doing things a little bit differently?
I like a lot of these like Japanese brands I'm seeing. Like I got sent a bag from like a brand called Hello Lulu.
Okay.
And it's like technically a sling bag, but like the way you can move the belt on it, so then it becomes a backpack or a shoulder bag or a sling bag, and then it's got like a section for your water bottle and it keeps it cold, and like all the different pockets has bits to like keep your keys on.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, I love seeing little brands doing stuff like that. I think it's ace.
Like modular stuff, yeah. Charlie was just talking to us a little bit earlier on about all the mad light snowboarding jackets he's getting in that have got multiple pockets and you can wear them in different ways and stuff. It's like, as someone that works in fashion all the time, I guess it takes a little bit more to surprise you maybe than it would most people. So it takes them things that are like properly forward thinking to get you excited about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So Hello Lulu, I'll have to look them up. Is it predominantly accessories? Do they make clothes as well?
It's mainly just bags.
Okay.
But yeah, they haven't got many followers yet or anything. They're a Japanese brand, but they are sick.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Everyone will be on that next week. Anyone else that sticks out for you?
Well, that just reminded me actually, because Charlie has a mate, Ollie, who does container. Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah. We have a mutual friend in London, so when I went to go see her, met up with him, and he would just tell me about like some mad ideas he had, like using like magnets and stuff like that. Yeah, I wear his bag and hat all the time. I think that's sick.
Yeah,
just
perfect for a single can of Stella, right?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's that big. Arced out, CP goggle hat, like can of Stella in the container thing.
Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, that was because it was actually for like a uni thing, and it was like technically based on like feeding your background into it. I mean, it's not very original. The amount of uni students I've seen do stuff with Stella cans.
Yeah, they're always to hand. Always meant for a good shoot if there's Stella involved.
Yeah.
So that's 2. Can you give us one more for a top 3?
Well, I guess I'd say Clints again, to be fair. I'm just like, everything they're doing at the moment,
Team
I'm just
Clints.
so blown away by
I'm
it.
going to have to get involved with this. I've not got any clue.
I just absolutely love him. I think he's sick.
Okay, so what are they doing that like other brands aren't? That trainer that you described earlier on sounds pretty like left of centre.
The silhouette of that, I've never seen it. I think as well what's sick is it's like, it's got its own style, but yeah, it fits into so many different things. Like I see people wear it with like a pair of like proper street style straight leg jeans and like a 95 or a TN, and then you see people wearing it in the more hip hop style.
Yeah.
People wear it like, even like I've seen people wear like the new cargo skirt they've done in more of a gorpcore way with like an Arc'teryx jacket and stuff like that. So it fits into so many different styles at the minute.
Do you reckon I could pull them off? Am I far too old?
For anyone, mate, I just think it's sick. I'll be rocking about in mad shoes when I'm older.
I hope so. I'm sure you will.
Next hype.
Eve, tell me, what is next for you and your career in clothing? Would you like to keep it varied and freelance, or would you like to move working in-house somewhere with a kind of large-scale project?
Definitely freelance. I don't know, I can't really like, that's why I love proper, because it's a lot more flexible. I don't work well under like pressure and like you have to be here every day at these times. I don't really like routine either.
Yeah. Is there any kind of like dream clients that you would love to work with? One that you'd kind of be like, I've made it now?
I mean, I've worked with a lot of brands that I've thought that about, but then again, it's always through people. Like if I'm doing like work for New Balance, it's like through size or whatever, which is still sick. Like that's mental. But it'd be nice to like do something for the brand because they've reached out to me.
I'm sure the time will come, you know. I saw way back on your Insta a project that you were working on around NFTs and a Marguerite painting. Do you know the one I'm on about?
Oh shit, yeah. I forgot.
Okay. Is digital fashion something that excites you? And could you see yourself working in that sector in the future?
No.
Nah?
Absolutely.
You got to be able to touch it.
Yeah, absolutely not. That whole like metaverse thing just terrifies me.
Terrifies you that you don't understand it, or terrifies you that it might scramble our heads and like
oh yeah, it's just like I just don't see it need me. I think we're all right. I don't think we need this whole like other online universe
I was
thing.
thinking, I'm talking to a young person today, they'll know about NFTs, and you come out with like the most old person comment in the world. I agree to a certain extent. Like I make a few other podcasts about clothes for other people, and they've always got people talking about like digital fashion, and one of the arguments that they put forward is like, nowadays we kind of only buy clothes to show them off on the internet anyway, so why not take that physical part out of the equation? You can just pay someone and put it straight on the internet and it's there, and it doesn't destroy the earth at the same time.
Yeah, true.
It's an interesting thing because obviously clothing pretty much wrecks the earth, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's something I could think about because I don't really know. Even after doing that project, like so confused the whole way through, like hours and hours of research went into it and I still don't know what it's about. I just don't get it.
That's why you left uni, is it?
Probably.
Did you ever play computer games much?
I'd see my brother play games a lot when I was growing up, but I never really into it that much.
Like I was into it before the computer things attached to the internet, but now kids playing Roblox and like all these, they're all dropping loads of money on skins to have in the game. And for me, that's the same thing as digital fashion, isn't it? You're kind of paying for things to appear a certain way on the internet. So I think a lot of people that weren't into gaming don't get it. And then gamers that are used to paying for digital assets are like, this is the future, man. So like, yeah, tricky one. And as a final question for you today, Eve, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you care about clothes?
20.
Is it?
1,000. Everything. It's all I think about.
Is it?
Yeah, I say this all the time. It's like I was saying to my mate the other day, I was like, when I'm people watching, like I'm not just people watching, I'm thinking about every single person's outfit. Like it's all I think about.
What's your favourite place in Manchester to people watch?
Definitely Northern Court. Everyone just looks sick there.
Okay.
Me and an old friend like once sat outside a coffee shop in Northern Court for 2 hours. And it was really interesting because there were also, I think, a City game was on. So just bare hooligans walking about.
In your professional opinion, who's got the best dressed firm, City or United?
I can't answer this. I can't. I can't. I'm a United fan.
Come on, City look like shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm only joking. I love my City mates. So yeah, if you're 20,000 out of 10, is there never a time when you're like, oh, I'm just not going to bother today. I'm just going to wear like dirtiest thing that I've got. Like, is there never a time when you're not considering what you yourself are wearing?
I mean, I guess so. If it's just like pajamas, if I need something to sleep in.
Yeah.
But even like the past few weeks, it's like instead of it used to just be a pair of joggers and a hoodie. It's now like a really nice pair of joggers and a really nice hoodie of like brands I support. So.
Yeah, it's good. It puts you in a different headspace at home, doesn't it? I used to be with the mindset like if no one can see you, then it doesn't matter. But it's your own head. You dress for yourself like 70-80%. That's what I do anyway. So like making sure that your pajamas are on point. Like all my pajamas are South 2 West 8, you know, the Dependence brand. I've got old South 2 West 8 like bed rig, and I feel a boss in it. When you get up in the morning, you're like, oh, these are cut nice. So it counts. Eve, thanks a million for doing it, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
I've really enjoyed it.
Buzzing. Cheers, pal. Thank you. And that is that for another week on My Own Garms. Big thanks to Eve for being a legend and coming on. Sorry to all the Bradford heads we've offended. Thanks loads to you lot for being here. Make sure you subscribe to get new eps in your feed every week. We'll be back with another one very, very soon. See you when we do.
Breaking, oh, my mind is breaking. Faking, social skills and I can't take it. Hate me, trust me, it feels amazing.